Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hey everybody.
Hi.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman.
And we just watched Slenderman.
Slenderman.
Slenderman, a bad film.
Bob Slenderman.
He gets in your head like a virus. Some he takes, some he drives mad. Once you see him, you can't unsee him.
This is one of the worst films I've seen in a while.
So here is my first thought on this. Slenderman is not an unscary character. I'm not scared of him. I'm just saying, you could do something with that. The shots of the woods where he kind of could blend in with the trees.
Yeah.
The movie is shot in a misty forest as well. Mm-hmm. And yet it isn't. It refuses to be scary.
Yeah, it forgets.
It
forgets to make any of its main characters actually scared of Slenderman until like 2/3 of the way through in the library scene.
Yeah.
And then it's really just the one character is terrified of him, and the main character in this film is like the worst actress I've ever seen.
She could not be more bored.
Right.
The first thing I want to point out is when you turned to me in the theater and you were like, you said something about the main character.
Yeah.
I realized I didn't know who the main character was at that point.
I assumed it was Hallie because that's who we had been focusing on, kind of.
Right. It was because I couldn't tell her and the other one apart too much in the scenes because no one was acting really. But yes, she was acting the least.
She is bad.
She is bored to be in the film.
Like every single scene, it was like, wow, you just don't care.
There's the point, skipping a little ahead, where she sees one of her friends who is obviously like gone insane in her house. They never follow up on her.
No, we never go back to her.
No, and they're just like, oh my god. She has at this point seen Slenderman in the woods, which she does not react to.
No.
And then her friend is like, we got to do something about this. And she says something like, look, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I have expected the actress to just walk off the set.
Walk off.
Yeah. The camera
walk out of the film.
You just see the crew. And she just gets in a car and leaves.
I don't want to do this anymore. She looks like she perpetually, the entire film, she has James Franco's stoned face on.
Yeah.
Like she looks like James Franco.
Yeah. It's very, like Twilight-y too with, Kristen Stewart, who's a good actress, but
bad in that film.
Well, because she's in a bad
Twilight
film.
Yeah.
I always imagined she was just like got really high before every take and was just like, look, I'm going to give this. And that's what it felt like. This is that in both cases, like, because Twilight is like one of her early roles, but it felt like she was just like, this might be my big break, but I don't care.
I don't care.
And that felt like this too, is this actress. I don't know if she's a good or bad actress. All I know is she did not try.
No.
During this movie.
She was real bad.
But again, it's...
The acting overall was pretty bad.
It was, yeah.
Although, again, when the movie finally remembers to make one of its characters actually afraid of Slenderman, like that was kind of all right. Like,
she was fine.
Like her just being completely crazy.
Well, she was the only actress that I recognized.
Yeah.
They're all about 25 and they're playing teenagers.
Right. The main character's like crush is this dude named Tom, so that was fun.
Yeah.
But he's also clearly 27.
Yeah.
And like built like a grown man football player.
Which would explain why the other thing is there are no quote unquote adults in this film. There are like 3. A teacher, the parents occasionally. There's really no like background extras much. This town is deserted.
Right. Everybody lives in a secluded farmhouse.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. And they don't turn on lights much. Specifically, the main character, there's like 2 scenes where she hears a noise and she just goes downstairs and just never doesn't turn on a single light.
Yeah, just investigates in the dark.
Yeah, even when it's gotten to a point where it's like, Slenderman is out to get us. It's like, turn on every light then.
Yeah, there are 2 main points that I have, hang-ups that I have with this movie.
Okay.
One is that I'm going to disagree with what you're saying, what you said in the beginning, that Slenderman isn't a non-scary idea, because I think Slenderman is ridiculous.
Okay, well,
like
that's the thing, is I need to kind of I also agree, and every picture of Slenderman, which they include in the movie, like real internet memes, look so photoshopped that it's bad. The tentacles look ridiculous. And
why does he have
ridiculous.
tentacles?
Yeah.
Also, they make him out to be like, it's like, oh, it's this ancient creature of myth. And I'm like, why the fuck is he wearing a suit?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he looks ridiculous. He looks like something the internet created.
Yes.
And it's bad.
Which leads me to my second major point. What are the rules of Slenderman?
There are no rules.
So I think I asked that about 18 times in the movie.
Yeah.
Because they're just... Slenderman is like... has the rules and special powers of every single generic haunting.
Right.
Like, there's...
Well, you said it when we were watching it, and I was thinking it too, is that he catches them several
times each!
And then it just cuts to them like, and they're like regular
the
world.
next day, yeah.
Yeah, or they're waking up from a dream, or they were like imagining it, like in the library. And it was that of like, when you have the villain like actually grab the good guy, and it's like, I have you, and that has no consequence.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, I'm not scared anymore.
Right.
And this, I guess this is what I'm saying about why they could have made it, because again, the setting couldn't have been easier. It's dark forests. Slenderman, they could have, if they had just avoided showing him much, if he was like...
They kind of did.
Shadowy in the trees, sort of. Like, when she looks in the forest and sees him, he's just standing there.
He's just standing around.
And, like... And had they avoided that, and had they made the idea kind of It Follows style, that's like, if he gets to you, it's over. Like, there's ways they could have made it, again, not good, but like... it's like T-ball. It's like they struck out at T-ball.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't hard to make it at least jump scary. Like, scary enough that like dumb people who've never seen a horror movie would be scared. But they completely failed to make it scary.
Yeah, they really did. There's like...
There's shots. They did stuff where they kept augmenting the footage of like shaking it and like morphing it with CGI, and it was like, that sounds scary.
How is Slenderman able to, like, one of the things that keeps happening, this movie is like a very bad filmmaker trying to make their own version of Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah.
Because it's the same kind of concept where it's like the danger is not necessarily... I guess this is as best I can figure. The danger is not necessarily Slenderman getting you. It's that he's sort of haunting your mind.
He drives you insane.
Yeah.
The comparison I was thinking of was maybe like In the Mouth of Madness, which isn't the same, but has like the idea of like...
Yeah, a little bit.
People are haunted. I was like, there's one scene when she's in the hospital and she's going down the hallway and it's all intentionally spooky, where I thought like, this should have been the movie, but less, but way more subtle. Like, if that was the idea, if it was like Slenderman just gets in your head and you just feel like the world is out to get you, and like slightly creepy and stuff like that, I could see working.
Yeah.
Again, like, if they went for subtlety, and went for one theme, which they didn't, they kept changing it up. Had they done that, like, I feel like they could have made a movie.
This is like 8 different horror movies.
Yeah.
Because there are no fucking rules to Slenderman, and what he wants is so unclear in the movie.
Also, the plot is just a series of and thens.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
they're nothing pays off, nothing sets up anything else.
There's no escalation.
It's just she goes here and then she goes here.
Yeah.
And then they do this and then her sister is scared, so she's in the hospital. So now they're in the hospital and it's scary in the hospital.
Like the movie really one of the I said it's like a bad version of Drag Me to Hell, and it's because like you're having I'm trying to find a way to articulate it. This movie has no idea how to escalate things. It just like in the middle of the film, like the scene in the library attack,
right?
And then like
that was like the end of a film.
Yeah. That's like Act 3, or like when also Slenderman FaceTimes people.
Oh yeah, Slenderman
to show that he's walking up to your house. Like
people.
It's what are the rules? But sometimes you have to be in the woods.
Right.
What are the rules of Slenderman?
What does he want? They watch a video, so it's like The Ring.
Yeah.
There's that we should note that there's not an original moment of this movie, right? I don't remember seeing one moment of the movie where I was like,
the creepiest the closest thing to being creepy and original that this movie does is when they actually have to go out into the woods, which is the second time they summon him. The movie has no idea what the rules of Slenderman are. They go into
They summon him by watching the video.
Yes.
Then they have nightmares. Then one of them disappears. So
then he takes one of them.
Yeah.
So like watching the video was enough to get him to show up.
Yeah.
And then they go out in the woods to try to summon him so they can get their friend back, where they all have to sit there with blindfolds on. I'm like, this is...
Yeah, that could be creepy.
That could be creepy because you have to wait until he's there to take your blindfold off.
Then the friend, they're like, whatever you do, don't take your blindfold off. So the girl immediately does it.
As they're saying, don't take her... She lifts up her blindfold and looks.
That whole sequence, because I loved that... From what I could tell, because how they were learning what to do was tough to figure out, is that they went on their friend's computer. Their friend goes missing. They go on a field trip to a graveyard.
As you do.
As you do when you're in high school. And then their friend goes missing during the field trip. I was confused right away where they keep all the kids there as the cops are like searching and stuff. And it's like, why are they making everybody stay behind?
I don't know.
Like they're like, you're gonna miss your bus now. We're like involving the cops. Like if they found her, were they gonna put her back on the bus and then bring her back to school? Even though it was like way after.
Yeah, well, they show
the sun was going down.
Yeah, they show like a clip of when she's staring off from the woods. She's hearing all the creepy Slenderman noises, and then it cuts to a shot of the moon, like a time lapse of the moon passing behind clouds. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, they just.
It was the middle of the day, and now we're looking at the moon.
Yeah. So they go on her computer and they find she's been chatting with Alley Cat.
Alley Cat 93.
93. And Alley Cat 93 is the one who's just like, they like says something like, yeah, I knew she would get taken, or like the Alley Cat responds in a very like kind of creepy way. And then they're like, what do we do? And Alley Cat's the one who apparently tells them, go in the woods. So in my mind, I was like, wow, if Alley Cat was like a serial murderer, just some guy, he'd just be like, like, go in the woods and blindfold yourself. And I was imagining him show up in the woods like, wow, they did it. All right, this is going to be easy.
He's like behind a tree. Oh, they showed up.
Wow, they're blindfolding
themselves.
Glad I
set aside a few hours tonight.
Anyway, So
yeah, that never pays off. Like, we find out later that Alley Cat was some...
escaped mental patient.
Who then just... Yeah, she saw Slenderman and then... went to a psych ward, and then her account was shut down. But it's like, and that's it.
That's it. Which I could have. That was the thing. Is like I could have assumed that without the movie revealing. Well, of just like, oh, this is somebody who's also, because they show like all these Slenderman sightings and all these times and dates, and then she's chatting with someone who knows about it. So I was just like, okay, this is someone who like survived Slenderman. And then they're all like, look. It was a mental patient who survived Slenderman. And it was just like, yeah, who else? What else would it be? But like, like there's no twist there. It's just them saying like it's this girl who's into Slenderman, and then the reveal is they're right. That's what it is.
But you do kind of have to reveal who that character is.
Yeah,
because they talk to her a few times.
They could have revealed it when they first meet the character,
or
it wasn't a reveal. You know what I mean?
It wasn't. It was like an article on somebody's computer screen, and that's it. That's the only payoff we get to that character.
Right. Had there been some twist to who that, like if it was them talking to Slenderman or something.
Well, they do a thing where after the main character's sister goes to the hospital because she's having a Slenderman fit.
Yeah, I want to quickly, because we had a confusing moment where they show she hears her sister screaming.
Yeah.
And she goes into her room and they're restraining her. Yeah. And we thought did they not establish that she was sick before or something?
Yeah, because they're making it seem because her parents it's okay, we're here. And I'm like, is she epileptic and we just forgot to establish that? And
they don't really show what's wrong.
No.
And then they show in the hospital and the blood test came out back negative, so we think it's just a panic attack. And it's oh, okay. She had some sort of panic attack.
Yeah.
Anyway, finish your thought.
Well, she goes onto her sister's computer and sees a video of her going out into the woods to summon Slenderman with her other friend.
Right.
And so she's the way that's revealed makes it seem was because her friend was the one that came to them and was okay, this is how we have to summon Slenderman. We got to go out in the woods. And she's the one that becomes obsessed with Slenderman.
Right.
So it's is she gaslighting them? Is she luring them out of the woods? Is she working with Slenderman?
That's what I thought too. I thought it was going to be something where like the real life Slenderman stories.
Yeah.
Of the idea of this girl was actually crazy and had been into Slenderman long before.
Yeah.
But that wasn't it.
No, and the reason I was bringing it up is she gets to her friend's house and sees all the Charlie Day conspiracy.
Yeah.
Board, and her computer's open, and it's open to the article about who Alley Cat is, and then she's has logged into the hospital's webpage with the Alley Cat 93
and you
login
expect
name
to see her.
So I was oh, was she Alley Cat this whole time? Even though that wouldn't make sense because we see her talk to Alley Cat.
It would have been something.
And yeah, but they put all that stuff there that is meant to cast suspicion on this character and be sort of a reveal, but then it's no, she just says, oh, I brought your sister out of the woods before I knew it was real. I'm when?
I also like that part because when is a good question.
When did you do that?
Yeah, that was the other thing is I thought because they show that that the other friend whose first goes missing has a video that's very similar of her going out into the woods on her computer. So I thought they were watching a continuation, that girl brought her sister out into the woods or something.
Oh.
It was very confusing. But I also like that actress, the one whose sister is now haunted, is way less emotional than the other girl in that.
Yeah.
And again, she says a line who's just that's my sister. That's not cool. Something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other girl's
she's
crying.
Freaking out. Yeah. Full on tinfoil hat.
The acting in this is immediately, just to go back to the first couple scenes, they don't talk like people. They talk like someone writing teenagers.
Yeah, it was a very bad screenplay, and it's just the first scene.
Yeah.
It's
this is not how people talk.
Bad actors reading bad lines.
Yeah, and then they were doing then all the girls get together at the drunk guy's house.
Yeah, that's
the guy who spends most of the movie passed out.
Out on the couch. The girl that goes missing, her dad's a drunk.
Right.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's just passed out for most of the passed out or belligerent.
Yeah, in the beginning of the film, the first time the main character goes downstairs to investigate her downstairs in the dark, it's the missing girl's drunk dad broke into her house. It's where's my daughter?
And they never follow up on that.
No.
The cops arrest him, and then they just show he's back at his house.
Literally the next scene is him back at his house.
And then he's just gone from the movie.
Yeah. We
Never
don't see him again.
There could have been some twist where he was involved. Nothing. No reason for any of that.
No.
He could have been a perfectly nice guy. That wouldn't have changed a thing.
Yeah.
So it begins when they're first in the basement. They were doing oh god, the writing was like, I think one character says like, oh, I saw that, I can't unsee it. Like they're using like internet meme phrases.
Yeah.
It's that bad. Like it's someone who, the screenwriter is just someone who like went to the front page of Reddit for a couple hours.
Yeah, when they're in the first scene of we got the 4 friends, and it's like it's like we should be frozen at this age so we can all live in a house together. It's like, Jesus God,
that fucking conversation.
And they walk around the corner, and one of them, the girl from Fargo, first season of Fargo, she says, "Look, it's the dude bros in their natural habitat."
Yeah.
And it's like a really overweight guy, a tall nerd, and an athlete. And it's like, these 3 guys would never do anything together.
Right. Nothing about that scene. Also, like, was it just me? The hallway looked like pretty unoccupied other than because again, there's very little
extras in this film.
Yeah, I don't think they could afford extras. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and everybody lives in a creepy old farmhouse that's somehow secluded.
Yeah.
They're also all right next to the woods.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then there's, of course, the date.
We needed this.
She goes on a date with that guy. Yeah.
She goes on a date with Tom.
Yeah. And by date, she goes over to his house, and he's like, "My dad's not here. Let's make out." Like, that's it.
Yeah. He puts on an old record.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I didn't know you were such a music nerd." And it's like, well, this is clearly his parents' record collection.
Yeah. He says it. He's like, "It's my dad's."
Like,
and this could have almost been a jump scare that worked, but it didn't.
Well,
because it was all right. This one, they're making out on the couch. The record makes a weird noise. Mm-hmm. She turns and looks at it.
One of Slenderman's 1,900 powers that are never clarified and don't seem to have anything to do with each other.
Yeah. And then she looks back at him, and he's suddenly become, I think, I want to describe every Adobe After Effects filter at once. Like, it's just... Bless you.
Thanks.
It's just... I don't know how to describe it.
He's got like a Boggins face.
Yeah.
And then it's also a million different, like he's doing the quick shaking thing, like his head's moving around, but it's also doing like a telescoping effect.
Right. It felt like it was entirely done in post, but not with CGI. Like it all looks like public access effects were applied to him.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing, is like if she turned and his face was like really insane and it was like prosthetics or something, or like, even CGI, it wasn't that. It was like, let's apply a bunch of filters to the shot.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just him, it was everything around him was like weird and distorted. It was really fucking weird.
And it lasts for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, to the point that it got funny.
Yeah, it was so drawn out.
Yeah. Because they started distorting his face in a way that was hilarious.
Yeah, and then it keeps cutting to her and then cutting back to him, and he still has like crazy Boggins face.
Right. Like the first shot when she turns around was kind of freaky, and if they had like cut away, it would have been effective. But no, it was like the director like, yeah, see that effect?
We're really going to linger on it.
Yeah, let's check this effect out.
I don't understand how Slenderman is able to just give random people goblin faces.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how he distorts reality around you.
I think the idea is he's in their head and he's making them crazy. But there's no consistency.
Yeah, why does he FaceTime them?
Yeah.
And then he becomes a tree and pulls the one girl out through the window.
Right.
It's like, what have you been doing this whole movie, man? Like, if you were just going to... Because, like, they make it a thing. It's like, well, no, you have to ask him to take you. And they're like, that's why Katie disappeared, because her dad's a drunk and she wanted to get out of here. So she asked Slenderman to take her. It's like, well, I didn't get that impression.
Yeah.
But
also, you have to ask to take him... For him to take you, except when you don't.
Except when you don't, and he takes you anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it's... What?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, they tried to have a few rules, because they were like, if you look at his face, you'll go crazy.
Everyone looks at his face.
Yeah, and they don't go crazy. They don't go any crazier than the only one that's the first girl who looks at his face, like, seems to again, who we don't follow up on.
Yeah, we
at
just
all.
never see her again.
they're not concerned about her. They're just like, I guess she's out of the movie, and they move on.
Yep.
Other than that, yeah, they keep seeing his Slenderman's face constantly.
Yeah.
When she looks at the woods, there he is. He's just standing there.
Why does he have octopus arms?
I don't know. It's very bad. It looks very bad.
He's dressed like a chauffeur, and he's got octopus arms.
He looks photoshopped into the movie.
He does, because he technically is.
Yeah.
He's an effect.
Well, that was a surprise in the ending credits. He's credited. Someone is credited as playing
Slenderman, even though he's CGI.
Yeah. Maybe a stand-in?
Like an Andy Serkis type
deal? I don't know. It was a guy holding a broom. I don't know.
Yeah. A guy holding a stick with a tennis ball on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
The library sequence was okay.
Yeah, but then when it started getting stretchy and CGI, I got bored with it.
Yeah.
There's one shot where she's like looking down the hall and there's like this sort of, I don't know what, this black railing or something, and then arms kind of come out of it. Mm-hmm. And that was cool. Like there was a couple cool moments.
Yeah.
But it felt like they did that thing where, like, this is why I liked how they did the hospital, because she doesn't get attacked or anything in the hospital.
Right, it's just creepy.
Yeah, in the library, they, like, go out of their way to show, like, oh, look, there's a librarian there who does a bad jump scare, like a fake out. And then all the lights turn off and Slenderman is going after her. So I was kind of like, oh, this is like a fantasy. It's a vision thing. Like, it's going to end with her being screaming and a librarian comforting her, which is how it ended.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel like either that or the movie ends there, which
it doesn't, because they do it where like he again shoves his face right into her face and then gives her a no face.
Yeah,
so she's running around with a no face.
Yeah,
that's the end of that character. Like
right.
you don't.
I thought where that was her dying.
You don't bring that character back after, like, this movie. I mentioned it, but like it's a bad escalation.
Yeah, no, you either kill her or it's like they did. It's all a dream. But like they couldn't really kill her because she had just been in a, I don't know, because it was that thing of like, okay, it's in their heads. So he didn't make the library, everybody go away in the library. They're all still there. Mm-hmm. I thought there was going to be something more clever where like they would show in real life they were doing, because they show when he's choking the girl and then she's choking herself.
Her choking herself, and that's the last time we see that character. Well, we see her briefly
then when
again.
She's crazy.
They come back and look, and she's just staring blankly out the window and like, well.
They also don't follow up on Tom, who clearly
saw Slenderman. Yeah. He's got like Slenderman
follow up on
hand grips on his arm.
Why didn't they follow up on him?
I think she texts him in the hospital, but we never see him again.
Right. They tell him, there's the scene where she has the weird date, and then she tells him about Slenderman, and then he's like, I'm going to watch the video. And she's like, don't watch the video. And then they show her in class, and he comes in, and he's clearly watched the video.
Clearly not only watched the video, he has encountered Slenderman.
Yeah. And then they start dissecting something. I thought, like, oh, are they going to go do like a cool, it comes alive like in the X-Files,
or like somebody's going to like
cut themselves or like
because
they say self-harm.
Yeah.
None of that.
Nope.
They just cut away, and then we never see that character again.
Nope. Never check back in with Tom.
Okay.
Don't know why he was even in the movie.
Here's I maybe we could look this up and find the answer. This movie was 80 minutes, right? 88 minutes.
It felt 1,000 years long.
It did. What if, and it was PG-13.
Yeah, although we did get an F-bomb.
We got 2 F-bombs, I think.
I definitely remember the one.
Yeah.
It's right after she says, I can't do this. I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. I think the rule has always been like, you can say fuck if it's not related to sex in a PG-13. You can say it like 1 or 2 times.
You get there's like 4 in Congo.
Right.
Congo got away with a lot.
Yeah. You just can't say like, I totally fucked that lady.
Yeah.
Like that. You can say, oh, fuck you though. Mm-hmm. But okay. So, shit. Oh yeah. So here's my assumption is that there was an R-rated cut of this. Mm-hmm. Where those characters were still around. Like, I feel like that scene, like, maybe that character does, like, No, he would. They show him texting him later, but like, maybe he does like, maybe there was a version where he like stabbed himself in the neck in that classroom. I don't know. It just feels incomplete, the movie.
Yeah, there's characters that just vanish, storylines that go nowhere.
Yeah.
And things just happen very abruptly.
They really do. It goes from one thing to the next. It keeps starting these things. Start the thing with the dad.
Yeah.
That didn't go anywhere. With the boyfriend, with the friend who goes crazy. Like, and people keep...
Like, there's clearly... Because when they watch the first Slenderman video, it doesn't say a fucking thing about the woods.
No. It shows shots of the woods.
Yeah, but it doesn't... Like, nothing about summoning Slenderman mentions the woods in any capacity.
Right.
And then the next time they try to summon him, they all know to go out to the middle of the woods.
Right.
And bring him stuff.
Right. They know what to do.
I love that. Like, I was really tickled by that rule, even though it turned out not to matter because this movie is wildly inconsistent. But they're like, you have to offer him something that you truly love. So they're like, I love the idea that Slenderman is just doing this to get people to bring him stuff.
To get knickknacks, yeah.
Bring me stuff.
Yeah.
Like, one girl brought her pottery. Another girl brought a blanket.
Right.
Like a photograph of her dad. Slenderman's out there in the woods like, yes.
Yeah.
Give me all your dad photographs. He just wants stuff.
And again, this felt like you were saying, comparing it to Drag Me to Hell, it didn't have the same teeth because Drag Me to Hell has a similar moment where you have to sacrifice something you love. And in her case, she kills her kitten.
Yep.
And it's brutal.
Yep.
And that's like when they first in this movie, they're like, you have to sacrifice something you love. I thought like, oh, so like a pet or like their parents.
Or the little sister.
So I was
like, there's no other reason for her to be in this movie.
Yeah. It was very silly that they were like, okay, let's get our favorite stuff.
Yeah.
And break it. And it was just like, no,
it's a very teenage understanding of that phrase. Though.
Yeah.
Something I really love. Well, I really love my Game Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Slenderman is just out in the woods getting all these Nintendo DSs.
Yeah.
That's all he wants.
It's like that specific, the video.
Yeah.
Bring him Game Boy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This fucking movie.
Yeah, it's real bad.
They even say at one point that they Photoshop Slenderman. Like at the ending is very weird.
The ending is baffling.
Yeah, like they all die. Or
I guess
one of them goes crazy. We don't know. We don't follow up on her.
We don't follow up on Chloe, who's the one that goes crazy, and they go to see her one last time, and she's just standing staring blankly out of her window, and then we just never see that character again.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Slenderman does the FaceTime thing again, then a tree breaks through the window and yanks out the friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when she realizes, I have to give myself to Slenderman. Who
makes no sense.
Who, as far as I can tell, because they lock their door to the room, and it's like an attic room, so there's like steps leading up, and you see like this blob coming in that's clearly going to be
it's like
Slenderman.
his shadow.
Yeah, and she's like, oh God. And then the tree pulls her out, and then she's like, I have to sacrifice myself to Slenderman. And it cuts to her running through the woods, and all I thought was like, he was behind you.
Yeah, he was there already.
Yeah, like
he's clearly not confined to the woods.
Yeah. And so they cut to her running through the woods, and then she runs into Slenderman.
Yeah.
And says, take me. And then he turns into a daddy long legs.
And then he grows Doc Ock arms.
Yeah.
And she immediately screams and runs away. And it's like Slenderman's like, what? Did you change your mind?
Yeah. I do like, she's like, take me. And those come out, and she's like, deal breaker.
Yeah, fuck this.
And then she just like starts walking backwards through the woods for a while.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Being scared, and then Slenderman grabs her and
is a
pulls
tree
her.
And then pulls her into a tree, and then she becomes the tree.
Right. And that's it. And
that's it.
And then it's like a voiceover of her
we have no idea who this voiceover is until about 3 lines into it.
Right, yeah.
Where she mentions that she mentions her sister Hallie. So, okay, this was the little sister. So the movie ends with narration in a film where there has been no narration.
Yes.
From a very secondary character.
And again, at this point,
talking to us, the audience, directly.
Right. If they wanted to do, it wouldn't have been a good ending, but if they wanted to do like a real ending, they should have done like Kids in Class and like this is just The Ring, but like the idea of like, if they had realized like you have to sacrifice other people or something like that, they could have ended with Tom. Like where he was, and like him in class, like you could show that the pattern has continued in some way, which is in the voiceover of her saying like, this is how you get you. Sometimes we Photoshop the pictures, we pass them around. She was trying to make the concept of a meme scary, as like we pass it around and then
she says we're spreading his word,
that's the last line,
and it ends on that line.
It ends on
that line, and a shot of just like two random extras in the school hallway,
right, instead of the Tom character,
instead of Tom or Chloe, the one who is crazy but just kind of standing around.
They never follow up on those characters.
It's fucking bizarre.
Oh my god. Don't try to make memes scary.
No.
This is the just going into the broader problem with Slenderman is, I think it comes down to the fact that Slenderman tries too hard.
Yes.
In general, is that he was created to be intentionally creepy by people who weren't creative, by like kids on the internet.
Yeah.
So he's just like a child's version of a boogeyman, which is like a really faceless, like there's nothing that...
He's wearing a fucking suit.
Right, yeah.
Why is he wearing a suit?
Because he's at work.
He's professional.
Yeah. He's clocking in, clocking... Like, I imagine there's actually multiple Slendermen, and they all just put on their suit and go to work, and it's Monsters, Inc.
Yeah. He's clocking in. He's on the clock.
And so there's just something so... It's just such a very obvious...
Yeah. And very derivative.
Yeah, extremely derivative. And that's just sort of the story of... Then you make a movie of it, and it's sort of like the Ouija movies. Like, the second one is quite good, of the Ouija movies, because he's a good director. But the premise is still bad, which is, this, like... thing that is never been scary.
This toy?
Yeah. Ooh, it's scary.
What if it actually could summon spirits?
It's like trying to
that movie
make
is surprisingly good.
Yes, but not because of the Ouija board.
No.
Like, that's the thing, is they focus on not the Ouija board, which is why the sequel is good.
Yeah.
But like that idea that they're trying to convince us that something... It's like trying to convince us that a plastic skeleton is scary. Like, it's a Halloween... Like, Slenderman is like... He's a person with a sheet over their head.
Yeah,
like it's as basic horror movie monster as you can.
And
get.
there's no mystique to it really, because like you said, it's just very obvious. You just kind of Photoshop a creepy looking boogeyman into the background of photographs.
Right.
There are no rules. Like, the rules are all over the map.
Yes. The rules are just be scary in obvious ways. Like,
why does a church bell toll 3 times when he's going to show up?
Because it's scary.
But not all the time. Only sometimes does the church bell toll.
Right. They try to do the really half-assed Google montage that horror movies love to do, or bad horror movies do, where they do the she's looking up what he is, and they like just show a bunch of ancient demons that like steal children, but she never lands on anything.
One of them was the Pied Piper poem.
Yes.
I'm like, that's another thing that was bugging me about this movie, is they're in that scene specifically, they're going through all the legends of like child stealing Goblins. He's not stealing children. Like, these are like high school seniors.
Right, yeah.
And like when we see like her crazy conspiracy web post up all over her room, like it was like a photo, it's all these missing children, but they're all like clearly adults in the missing posters.
Right.
Like,
I like that she Googled like missing children
and printed
pattern.
Yeah, and then she apparently printed them out so she could put the posters up on her wall.
Right. No, those 2 different characters, I think. Oh, no?
One that goes to the library, and the one that, like, it's the same girl. It's the girl from Fargo.
See, this is the problem. I can't tell them apart.
Yeah, she was the one that was Googling in the library, and she's also the one that goes bananas and has like.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're
on.
right. Yeah. Okay, I remember now. This movie is slipping away.
Yeah, rapidly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
Jesus Christ.
It's just. Yeah, it's like it's also like this is like 8 years too late.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for the meme.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just it's so basic. It's the Bye Bye Man. It's the same thing where in the Bye Bye Man, I never finished the Bye Bye Man. But like the scares were like this person's eyes rolled into the back of their heads. Isn't that scary? And it's like seen it a million times since the 70s, so no.
Yeah.
Like no, that's not scary. That's a thing that happens. That's a thing that could be in a children's movie at this point to show us to spoof something that's supposed to be scary.
Yeah.
And yeah, Slenderman feels like I could see him being the villain in a children's movie.
Yeah, this is a children's movie.
Yeah, he could be in like Goosebumps.
Sure.
Yeah, this is the thing is, even if you've never seen or heard of horror movies before, like even if you didn't know about the concept of fear and you went into this movie, you still would be like, eh.
Yeah.
Like even if had you never seen any other cliche in a horror movie, it still doesn't hold up. Because it's just badly done.
Yeah.
It's just a
This is a nitpicky thing, but like all the videos they're watching on the Slenderman website of different Slenderman encounters, they're supposed to be like found footage, but they're clearly edited.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Like who and one of them is like this dude and his like little brother, and his little brother gets snatched. I'm like, are you telling me this guy sat down at his computer after watching his brother get snatched by a goblin,
went on iMovie
and cut it together?
Yeah, apparently.
To make it like a tight 40 seconds,
right.
Cut out all the dead time.
Oh my God.
Make a real sizzle reel out of your brother's abduction.
What was the point of all that? Because again,
I don't know.
It was trying to show that this is a spreading thing, but it doesn't really, it never feels like it spread. No. Again, it's that fucking ending. They never show that she keeps calling it a virus. She says it's a computer virus in your brain.
Only instead of your hard drive, it infects your brain. I'm like,
right.
Like a regular virus.
Yeah.
We know what a virus is.
That's where computer virus came from.
That's why we call a computer virus a computer virus.
It's like a computer virus, but for your body.
So a virus.
Oh my God, this movie was...
Yeah,
it's so bad.
This movie was written by dickheads.
Yeah.
Like, just a bunch of fucking assholes.
Oh my God.
This movie.
But then they never show it spreading.
No.
They show 4 girls watch the video, and then they get ruined, and then in that time, one other dude watched the video, then they never follow up.
And we never follow up with them.
It's such a bad movie.
It's very bad.
It had...
For a while, it had 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes. Now it's probably at like a 15% or something.
Eesh. What monster gave this movie a favorable review?
I can't imagine audience score will be... any more favorable.
Awful.
We were in the theater with 2 other people. The only reason we're reviewing this is because it was that or Black Klansman, and that's like a good movie.
Yeah.
And we figured it'd be more entertaining to do a bad movie that no one will see. And it was.
It was very bad, and nobody's seeing it.
Yeah.
Which is good.
We went into this with the worst of intentions, and they were met.
Yes.
Of us like, I can't wait for this movie to be really excruciating.
Yeah. Every single expectation was met.
Yeah.
Except the music was kind of good.
I don't remember, but I believe you.
And I saw at the end it was made by the composer for Game of Thrones and Westworld. So
okay.
Oh, you're too good for this.
Okay, so that's one good thing about this movie, Slenderman. Watch it with your eyes closed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be scarier than actually watching the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, just have it on. Just have it on when you're going to bed or something.
Why is he wearing a suit?
All right. Let's figure this out.
Why the hell is this character wearing a suit?
Maybe he's networking. Maybe he's going to a job interview. Like, maybe he's just always, on his way to a job interview.
And in that one video, he just shows up in a cul-de-sac. Like, not even in the woods.
What is he doing?
I don't know. Like, his brand is so all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, pick a thing, bro. I don't know if we can say anything else about this movie.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything.
It's very bad.
Yeah.
Don't watch it. Watch Ouija Origin of Evil instead.
Yeah, do that.
If you want to watch a horror movie based around a very dumb concept, just watch the Ouija sequel.
Yep.
Don't watch Slenderman.
Avoid it. It's like the Slenderman video in the movie.
Yeah.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, just don't watch it.
But instead of like Slenderman coming to kill you, he's just going to make you really disappointed.
Yeah, you're just going to be very bored for the longest 90 minutes of your entire life.
Yeah.
Don't do it.